Like, I gave him his love beforehand. You know,
I didn't expect that.
I get
I
I
didn't
thought he
expect
looked
anything less from him.
like a six somebody on. He could have worked for 60 minutes with that one.
he was definitely, he was going through that thing, like, and
Hmm.
like I told him, he got his thoughts off too, and like
Yeah, he kept order
so
too. It was good.
it was smooth transition. They all said, some informative things, some opinion, like they came from a position of like knowledge, like
Hmm.
all of them.
Yeah.
So, and all four different perspectives at that. Even even if even though that
I ain't
all of
know
them was
B. I ain't
all
know B was a doctor neither.
I think he just
He
finished,
just
like you said, he
finished.
just finished his
I
joint.
ain't know he was. I ain't know he was in school doing it.
I know he was elite. I knew, that's why I reached out to him because I know what type of stuff
Hmm.
he be on. But it was like it was crazy. All four different African American, four different
Out here
backgrounds,
working. Yeah, out here
working,
working for it.
four different perspectives, but for this all same common goals. And that's the funny thing about it is like you can take another scenic route as long as the destination is the same. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that's what we got to do. We got to come together.
My
We got to
bad.
come together. That's all. We just got to just come together and be all on the same page, man.
Solidarity. Solidarity is the one. That's the one thing that we're starting to show that we gotta keep. That we gotta keep going.
100%.
That's what I kind of hated about. We're gonna touch on this later. I always
Yeah.
hated on the why now, like why everybody saying something now, and
Hey.
why we gonna focus on that now? It's like they here now. So since they here
Hmm.
now, let's go.
Let's
Let's
go.
keep rolling with the
Let's
momentum.
go.
Like
Let's go. It doesn't matter when. We didn't have it. We have it. Let's go. Let's
that's what I'm
go.
saying. So now, okay, you here now, cool. We're gonna hold you accountable. Like you said,
Yep.
solidarity is
Yep.
one. Accountability is definitely about to be number two. Like
Yep. When you get look, y'all all play high school sports. When you get that interception, you yell bingo or something. Ever you have some type of code word, and that means whatever the plan was, abandon that, bro. We with this now. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Bingo. We got the interception. Let's go. Let's go.
we had a code word. I forgot it because I when
See?
I got my housework, housework going to the crib to the apartment.
To the department.
I was going to the crib. Jukey. But this is episode 73. You can catch us on all major podcast platforms, Three Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, Three Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. Hill, over there, there's AJ over there, that's Cannon. We took a break. And you know why we took a break? We had to. My
Yeah.
mental health, yo. My mental health, yo. This thing, I mean, it's funny now. Like I said, it's funny. It's funny now. We can actually have a conversation about it now. But at that time, we was on edge. We couldn't have a solid conversation because this thing been weighing on us as Black men all our
Mm-hmm.
lives.
Yeah.
So, that was just my little part. Y'all can go ahead, give y'all a part.
Yeah. Go ahead, Cam.
I agree 100%, Hill. Um, everything, like you said, everything's coming to a head, man. So we were on the edge. But cooler heads prevail. Um, and we gonna always stay the course and do what the goal is, and that's change the narrative out here. So
That's a fact.
I wanna before AJ speak, I just wanna big up my brother because he took charge, he took charge. If y'all haven't listened to our last bonus episode, with AJ and his four panelists, please go listen to that, man, and just listen to regular, real Black people out here who are for change, who are for the culture, who work in different aspects of life, fighting with you, me, all of us every day for equality, for injustice. So just please go check that out. I man, AJ, the questions that he asked really had me thinking. I wanted to ask y'all two about it, because we haven't had to, but I'll let AJ go first.
Yeah, I just wanted to say you can't like as we touched on in that episode, you gotta do what is good for your mental health as well. But you also gotta make sure that you don't get discouraged also because most of us have experienced this stuff throughout our
Mm,
lifetime. It's been
mm,
more it's been more visible now, and it's something that not everyone of other races has had to go through and see people that look like them actually die. Like
mm-hmm,
I'm sure there's many people on this planet who have never seen, someone die. But as Black people, we've seen it on just TV, social media. I couldn't recall seeing another race just actually their death actually being broadcast on social media outlets and news outlets.
mm-hmm,
And so it always made me think like, is it intentional? Is it something that they were conditioning people to become numb to? And although I hate to see it, it's kind of good that people have been seeing it because, like I said before, this is probably the straw that, broke the proverbial camel's back. And so
yeah,
it looks
yeah.
like it was, that last little spark we needed to set fire to everything. And like I've always said, I hope we burn all this shit down.
And that's the perfect segue for what I wanted to ask you two about, the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back. AJ had brought up a point where he asked the panelists if he thought this this broke the camel's back, because up until that point, everything that we had ever captured on video was kind of quick. Um, and it's not. I'm not saying that because if you've ever been in a fight or anything physical, you know that 30 seconds is forever. So I'm not trying to
Mm-hmm.
diminish what anybody been through. If it was 1 minute or 2 minutes, but whatever it was kind of quick compared to this one, which was a struggle of really taking this man's life. Um, and I didn't think about that at the time. But ever since AJ posed that question, everything that I've seen on the news, everything that I've watched, everything that I've heard, I keep going back and I'm like, yo, that is really what it was. Like this man had the audacity to just chill on somebody and with this and the smirk just screamed that he knew that nothing's gonna happen to me for this, which is why I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me wonder, um, has that cop killed anyone before?
He has.
You know, um, but
Yeah.
my question to y'all is like, how do y'all feel about it, and why do you think it had to be so egregious for us to wake up?
Well, I don't think it had to be egregious for us to wake up. I think it
I
had to
mean, just
be.
us. When I say us, I'm talking about America, the whole, not
Well, see,
not
that's what
us.
but see, there's always been two Americas. So that's why I kind of want, until I feel like it's completely us, I don't necessarily
Mm.
want to speak in that
I
term.
respect that. I respect that 100%.
But that's why I've always said it's not a wake up to us. We've already been awake. It's,
Absolutely.
it's a wake up call to others. And that's why you're starting to see a whole lot of, people actually trying to join the fight, people actually, shunning what happened. But this is nothing new. Yeah, it's a different means. But like I said, George Floyd wasn't the first to ever utter the words "I can't breathe" and
No,
die
it
in
was
police
not.
custody.
Nope.
So it's
Nope.
like, it's it's very telling that it took 8 minutes and 46 seconds for people to really realize that it's a problem going on. Um, and like another thing is like, and this isn't the first time it's happened in Minneapolis. I mean, Philando
Nope.
Castillo, like I
Yeah.
said before, Derek Chauvin was a part of another murder of a suspect, and it's just like how like it for us. We've always asked, how many does it have to be?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's people are surprised. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised in the slightest bit. I'm not one of those people who say, oh, you know, there's a few bad apples and blah. I don't believe in none of that because I believe all of it is trash. Majority of Black
Mm-hmm.
people, like, there's, and once again, there's two Americas. White people, they trust the police. They believe that they're protectors, they're saviors, and they're there to help in every situation. They're there to get cats out the trees. They're there to
Mm-hmm.
apprehend, you know, bad guys and keep the streets safe. And they're just a major necessity to the community. But for us, you never know. You never know what you can encounter. Somebody can call the police
Yeah.
on you because your music too loud, and you can end up dead because your music too loud. And that's what has always been frustrating to me is the rhetoric before people wanted to join this fight, like, oh, just comply with the police, just do what the police say. But I've always said, knowing how the justice system works, how can I, you know, if I know I'm innocent, why would I comply with the police so they can take me and book me? And then I could actually just spend time in jail. Because if you look at Khalif Browder, what happened to him?
Yeah.
Look how much
You
time he spent in
absolutely
jail.
are going. You are.
And can you imagine being an innocent man in jail, especially getting the treatment that he had?
No, no, I cannot.
It's no wonder he went crazy because you're there for something that you did not do. You're there for, you know, like just days on days on days. The days turn to weeks, the days turn to years, and they had like, and they're just treating you like trash. And then you have your breaking point. So yeah, a lot of us are like, why would I trust the police? And then trust the police to let the justice system play out? No, sir. Hell no.
Mm-hmm. No.
But just like they said on the panel, it was no way that you can avoid this one. Like, for example, the other ones, life was still going on. And like Cannon was kind of saying, like they were kind of shorter. So you see a clip, oh, it's another clip. Like AJ was saying, are you trying to get numb to it? Some of us were numb to it. Some of us were becoming discouraged. I was one of those. I'm like, oh my God, here you go again. Like, here you go again. I was one of them. Like, I'm sick of it. Like, but it's like, what do we do? But this one, we was in the house.
Mm-hmm.
We was in the house, and even if you whatever you was doing, you still couldn't avoid it because it was on
Mm-hmm.
every network. You could not avoid this one, this particular instant. You could not avoid. And on top of that, this was actually like, wasn't this like the third one? Because we were still
Yeah.
arguing
Yeah. It
about
was.
Aubrey
Ahmad
and
Yeah. Yeah.
Breonna Taylor.
and Brianna. We
Yeah.
was arguing about them first. So we was trying to
Mm-hmm.
get traction on them, and you was trying to ignore that. You was trying to ignore that one, and then this one came. It's like, I guess what, things come in threes, right? Or
Yeah.
third
Coming
time the
Yeah.
threes,
charm,
yeah.
unfortunately. But this one hit it,
That's what
and
I
like you
said.
said, you could not avoid this one. So it had to hit you, and it had to hit you differently. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, now that we're here, it's time for the move forward.
One thing that you said, AJ, stood out to me when you talked about you know, white people and how the police actually do protect and serve them. And I just wanna throw this out there. I have numerous police brutality stories, and I'm not gonna share none of them. I'm just gonna share you one story or share with the people one story of one time I tried to get help from police. I'm gonna leave out the brutality stories. I'm in Richmond. I'm on Broad Street. Me and my brother, he got a Nissan Maxima, breaks down in the left lane, turning signal, right? It's cold outside. Me and my brother, he's trying to steer and push. I get out. Me and him are trying to push. And it's like a little dip in the road. So we had the car going at first, but now it's stuck, right? And so a police walks up. It was like a red light. So he walks up across the street. And I'm like, thank God, an officer. You see what I'm saying? I'm thinking this man's going to help us push because we just trying to get it to the parking lot. This man says, pulled out a little stopwatch, said, y'all got 2 minutes to get this piece of shit out of the road before I have it towed. And he literally walked away. He literally walked away. And two black dudes behind us just so happened got out of their car and helped us push the joint. He was a black cop too, man. I was disgusted. And so that is the protect and serve that we have gotten even from Black police officers. And so it's like the police in my lifetime, they have never done one thing to assist me. So I've only been brutalized by them. I've only been harassed by them, and that's all. And that's 100% the truth and fact.
I mean, and like I said, I'm not one of the ones to come and say, oh, there's, it's just a couple bad ones that give the good ones a bad name. Because once again, I mean, why y'all not really speaking out? Why y'all protect them?
That,
Why y'all do this, this, and this? And so I'm not going to be out here saying, oh, there's a couple, my uncle's a police officer, my cousin's a police officer, I have friends who are police officers, and they absolutely know how I feel as well. But guess what? I'm not going to just say, oh, well, my uncle's a police officer, he's a great police officer, and, this, and this, because that takes away from the fact that that it's so egregious. It's so egregious.
Mm-hmm.
If there was any other profession where you have, there was a police officer in Florida. He was one of the police officers who pushed that protester, and the Black police officer went and checked him. They checked his file. He had like 73 complaints. How was that possible?
How can for any job,
bro?
Any job, any
I,
job.
I can't.
Any job.
I can't show up late to work a week
3
straight
times.
and keep a job.
No way.
You getting complaints 70
Twice.
times. Like, come on now. Like,
hold on. Even if you was in customer service,
73,
you
bro.
can't get,
you are
you
fired.
can't get.
After 6 in customer 5. Listen, bro. It's been 6. This is your 6th. You're fired. You're fired.
But go ahead, AJ. I just wanted to just say, even customer service, you can't do that. Like,
and that's my point. So it's like, how are you here with a gun, a badge, and able to take people to jail? Like, you are able to take people into custody. You are
Give a
able
lunatic
to,
a gun.
basically, like, they are allowed to strip people of their rights because we know how they treat criminals. We know how people treat criminals. So you are basically allowed to strip someone of their rights, and you are walking the street with all of these complaints. You are walking the street with not proper training. You're out here enforcing the law without a good understanding of the law.
No proper training, bro.
And so
no proper training.
And yeah, so that's, it just takes me, I've been talking about this ad nauseum just over the last, few weeks. So it's just like so many points, and I'm trying not to ramble because I have so much that I want to say. But I'm trying to keep us on track. But it's really frustrating to see that.
I see you got to get your shit off. Get your shit off.
It's so frustrating to see that there's people out here who have to go through so much to get in their career field, and it's so competitive, and they have to do all of these things to separate themselves just to get in the field. Yet, to be a police officer, you have to have a high school education and then just complete a couple hours of training.
Couple hours, man.
I feel like of all things, you should, especially when you're dealing with the law. How long do judges have to go to school? How long do lawyers have to go to school?
Bro, damn that. Barbers who go to school have to do 1,200 hours, and barbers who don't go to school have to do 4,000 hours. So it's like, bro, the state of Maryland requires barbers who go to school to do 1,200 practice hours under a master barber. So if you can be a police in 6 months, that means the state is saying they require more from a barber than they require from someone that they're going to give a gun to and police citizens. That's outrageous to me. And that's why these police systems, they got to be defunded, and they have to be reformed and built from scratch, man.
And that's another thing that I really wish would have had better rhetoric behind it. I hate that it's almost like it's almost like when Black Lives Matter came out and people were just able to change the narrative, change the narrative on what Black Lives Matter meant. Defunding the police doesn't mean you take every single penny away from the police and you don't give police any money. What it says is you're overfunding the police. So let's defund them now. No reason that the NYPD should have a multi-billion-dollar budget.
and they
And
stop and frisking everybody.
this is one of the most disturbing things that I've heard. The in LA, to house a death row inmate costs almost about like to execute a death row inmate costs over $300 million.
And that's
So
ridiculous, man.
so
That's a waste of
at
money, and it's a
LA
scheme.
in LA, they've spent nearly I think it's nearly $3 billion for just 700 death row inmates.
Wow, that's a waste of taxpayers'
And I
dollars,
think
bro.
my numbers are a little bit off because I don't have that written down. But just just to think about how much that costs, and just to think about all of that, and then you think about the budget for the LAPD. LAPD has been like LAPD is they worse than the Crips, the Bloods. You know, all of like
They,
they're the biggest.
bro,
They're the
the
biggest gang in the
biggest
country.
in the world,
Like
crazy.
they're the biggest purveyor of organized crime. And so my whole thing is, why are you giving all of these people, like, why are you giving them this much money? And then,
And more resources.
and more resources. We were in the middle of a pandemic. People are talking about there's not
Hmm.
enough hospital beds, you know, essential personnel, nurses, doctors, they don't have enough PPE. But at the drop of a dime, you can send police forces out there with full combat gear, shields, riot gear, guns, rubber bullets, tear gas canisters, and then you can deploy the National Guard against your own citizens as well, and they're fully armed. That's like that stuff doesn't come cheap. So I don't understand how
It doesn't.
we can complain about money in all these other places, but the one place that there's never been a lack of funding is in the police departments. Cannon, you're a
No.
teacher.
Yep.
How many
I
teachers
was
do you
gonna say
know
that. I was
that
about
have
to
to
bring that up, man.
like please talk about it as far as the funding that you receive as a teacher, the things that you have to do, stuff that you have to bring out of your pocket.
I mean, I've go above and beyond every year for my kids. And as soon as Trump got into the office, he cut the tax break that teachers already had, which was already small, and he made it even smaller. But that's neither here nor there. What I want to touch on is these police, man.
It is
These
there though,
police.
but go ahead.
So look, man. As it stands now, right? This is how the police systems work, which is very very stupid, right? I hear my neighbor arguing, right? Not that I would get into my neighbor's business and call the cops, so this is hypothetical. But I hear him arguing. It sounds like he just hit old girl upstairs. She sound hurt. I call the cops, right? Domestic violence, right? You gonna call what's my boy name in Ohio? They killed my guy AJ because I don't even know his name.
You
I
talking about
refuse to
Sam
say his name.
DuBose?
If that's his name, I don't
Yeah,
know if it is, man.
yeah,
But
it's
anyway,
Sam
so
DuBose.
you call this guy up to the scene, right? To domestic violence, right? And in
Oh, you talking
reality,
about Ray
it's
Tensing? The Ray Tensing was the officer.
so in reality, if it's domestic violence, do I want to send someone to antagonize people? I want to send somebody probably with a counseling background, somebody who can diffuse this situation and calmly get the aggressor out of there. You see what I'm saying? Well, I want to send these type of people. I feel like when you make a 911 call, it should be categorized different type of police who have different type of specialties, who went to school, who learned something, and should be working with this. If I study juvenile, criminal juvenile law, then I should be working with the children. Or if I'm a study domestic counseling, maybe I should be going to the domestic violence one, not just any cop who don't have any training, who don't even know the laws, who think that the cops are above the law, and it's just a broken system. And that's why I say defund and reform is because the whole way this thing works got to be rebuilt from the beginning logically because it don't make sense.
Hold on, quick question. Why can't both go, Cannon?
Both should. If that's what you want to
You feel what I'm saying?
send an enforcer and send, but I feel like in a domestic violence, the counselor should be in charge first. They should at least
And I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm just saying, okay.
But why we ain't but why man you can think of this? Why man you can just come up with this idea right now? I never talked to you about this.
Not one time. And we fixed it. You feel what I'm saying? And this is what I had to do, like AJ was saying, the narrative easily got switched on defund the police.
Mm-hmm.
Or defunding. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, defund the police. I'm like, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah,
did
I was
not know
saying
what
what.
it, because
Mm-hmm.
it sounds negative. It sounds drastically.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything. So I'm like, hold on, I gotta do some research. I gotta read up on this thing. What are they actually saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm on board. You're trying to
Yeah,
just
I was the same way.
reallocate funds. You want to
Yeah,
reallocate funds elsewhere to other entities to
yeah,
do things. I'm like, okay, I get it now. Now I'm on board. I just didn't want to just blindly just jump on the wave.
yeah,
But now I can easily see how it's getting manipulated. I hope
yeah.
that's the right word. But anyway,
It was close. It was close
it was
enough.
it was close. That's why I was gonna let it rock. But it was close. But but anyway, I can see how it's getting switched. And I'm like, we cannot let this happen. We
We
cannot let
can't.
this narrative right here.
Mm-mm. We can't.
We cannot, because we have to reallocate funds. We have to utilize these taxpayer dollars that we are spending elsewhere to get change. We have to break this thing down. We are dealing with an outdated system. Like,
Yeah,
let's come on now.
and it
Like,
and the
we're dealing
narrative,
with an outdated system.
to piggyback on what you said, the narrative makes it sound, because I didn't know what it meant at first. It sounds like a lawless state. I'm like, hell no, we can't do that. Hell no, we can't
Mm-mm.
do that. But it's like I had to research myself and figure out what that really means.
But
And
see,
that's good.
and that's where I have the biggest issue because everyone wants to have an opinion. Everyone wants to say this. Everyone wants to talk about this. But just as easy as you can say, I don't know what that means. You can
Mm-hmm.
open your phone and Google defund the police meaning, and it will come up and tell you what it means. But no one wants to
uh,
do that. Everyone,
I hate
everyone
hearing
just
good
goes off.
one.
Everyone literally just goes off of headlines and what they see on social
Yeah.
media and what
Mm-hmm.
they and
Headlines be
what
so wrong.
and what they hear. And that's how narratives are able to be changed. Because guess what? Once you hear your politician that you support say they want to defund the police and it's going to be complete anarchy and crime is going to run rampant in the streets.
Yeah.
The
Um,
purge.
what I
I thought it was gonna be like that. I'm like, hell no.
what I don't understand is what has been going on with the large budgets that they've been having now. People always talk about how bad crime is now anyway.
Misallocation of funds. They've
It,
been committing crimes with these funds and resources. That's what's
so
been happening.
and so that's what I'm saying. Like, so if that's what like for me, it's like okay, if it hasn't been working and y'all been getting the money, why do y'all need this money? You ain't been doing nothing with it.
Fact.
So
Terrorizer.
my whole thing is, like I've said before, I guarantee you, the moment that we stop privatize prisons, prison for profit, the moment that we
Mm-hmm.
have, we get rid of police unions and
Mm-hmm.
actually have community oversight because the community pays for the police. So the moment that we don't have community that we allow community oversight and no longer have police unions, and that's when something's really going to change because now the community is going to hold you accountable, not your police union. Your police union can't hold
Mm-hmm.
you accountable because that's your union. You can't get investigated because the police are going to investigate you. So
You're in their best interest.
that's
The
that's
more
like
members they have, the bigger they get, the more
that's
money
like
they
that's
get.
like
So
that's like me asking my mom to testify against me.
it's not happening.
I got a question.
So
But crime is profitable. You
100%.
already know crime is profitable. Sickness is profitable. Um, all these things is profitable. So I did see. So how are we gonna ever get them to change this? Because money is the root of all evil. Money rules everything. Money
That's
But
rules.
the
real.
but
Money rules
the
all that. How are we gonna change this system when these are the number one things in their factor?
we have to like as much as this is that cliche answer, people have to really be aware and actually know what they're voting for because if you get progressives in there who have the mindset of what we're thinking and are trying to do what we
Mm-hmm.
are trying to do, then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we can really start to push this envelope forward instead of having a candidate like Joe Biden who is going to just continue with the status quo to line that top 1% and grease their palms. Bernie Sanders, it was a reason why it was such a fight to get rid of him and other progressives because they're trying to bring the power back to the common folk, the middle and lower class, the majority of this country.
Yeah.
It's no reason that the majority of this country has no say just because they don't hold the majority of the wealth. If we're able to get those people in place, which we never have been, even with Barack Obama was a part of this. He was a part of all of this because it's the reason why he didn't really push the things forward that we thought he was going to. I mean, so that's why you just got to hope you can put people in place who get to Washington and don't, sell out, because everybody got a price.
But this is my thing. I can understand crime being profitable. I can understand them putting a system in place to keep crime, keep it profitable, keep getting criminals, keep rotating the system. I can see why they can keep that profitable. And I can see why they can pinpoint a specific group and to do that. I can see that. Do I like that? Hell no. Am I vouching for it? Hell no. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I cannot, with the common decency as a human being, understand why sickness is a profit. Like, why do I want people to get,
one of the biggest in the world. Pharmaceutical industry is the number one.
Even if, let's say, even if we find cures or whatever, you're still gonna be sick. You know what I'm saying? You're still gonna get your common cold. You're still gonna get all these other things. You're still gonna get. Why can't we fund cures for this? It's never gonna stop. We're like,
there's no money in cures, Phil. There's money in keeping you
exactly.
Yeah, I just want to manage you. I want to manage you so that you feel happy enough to keep paying me for this.
If
I don't want to cure you.
If they found a cure to AIDS,
you're a one-time patient now.
Then you're a one-time, like, there you go. But if I can just prevent you,
I'm on a lifetime patient
from your HIV going to AIDS, then I can, hope that you potentially spread it still. Now
I get more patients.
It's a
but y'all understood. Y'all understood what I said.
I wholeheartedly understand what you're saying.
Because you still can get it. Like you said, you still can get these diseases. But you still can. You feel what I'm saying? We can still get, like, we all had chicken pox or something like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You all can get this stuff. You can get cured, boom, and the next person can get it. It's still a reoccurring. This is still a reoccurring cycle. You feel? You kind of.
Let me tell you this. It's a cold game. It ain't no heart in making money. You can't have no compassion when it comes to making money. That's why. That's why.
What was that one guy?
Martin Shkreli.
Who raised? He raised that price up.
Martin Shkreli.
700% on the diabetes drug, was it?
Yep. And so
pretty much a drug that everybody needed. It was very affordable one year. He raised it up 700% here, and then he didn't care about. He basically told everybody, "Go F yourselves." Like, I know you need it. That's why I raised it up.
And that's why I say I can't. You can't. Y'all just explained it perfectly, and I get it. It's not gonna click in my mind to understand.
As it shouldn't.
As a decent human being.
It don't make sense. It don't make sense.
Those people aren't decent human beings. That's your first mistake. You're thinking of it from a perspective of human decency.
You're right.
A lot of those people don't have human decency. You think about it. So think about it like this.
You're right.
You pay your.
I ain't gotta think about it.
Okay, because
no. I'm messing with you, but you got it.
Like, no, I would wholeheartedly get what you're saying, because all I was gonna say is, think about it like this: you pay your health insurance comes out of your check every month. I mean, every paycheck. You go to see the doctor, you still have to pay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when you go to see the doctor, guess what? They're gonna recommend.
They give you a medicine. You're gonna have to pay for that.
You're gonna have to pay for that, and then they're gonna recommend you something else. And the reason why they recommend it to you is because they get paid. They get paid for recommending to you.
To recommend, yeah.
Just like the vaccines that we quote unquote have to take. Those vaccines are, profitable for those doctors. They make money off of them. So doctors get paid for getting people to take the flu vaccine.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I've always been disgusted with the thought of vaccines, because it's just like, okay, so if all these people are getting vaccines and I don't get a vaccine, why is it still that like I can't go to certain places? Because if all these other people are vaccinated, if the vaccine worked, we both should be good because they shouldn't have it and I
Yeah,
should be protected
yeah,
because they
yeah,
don't have it.
Mhm.
So I just don't
yeah.
understand like how can your vaccines actually work if you're making it mandatory for everyone to get it to protect themselves from it.
They're making it mandatory for you to pay them. That's what they're trying to do.
Exactly.
But y'all seen 846?
Yep.
Yeah, I seen it.
Showed out for your state. AJ, what you think, man?
Some of the
Yeah,
best,
he was out there.
some of the best people come from Ohio.
But some
Yeah,
of the worst people
that's
too.
true.
But we funny though.
uh,
But I
Now
think
it was a great usage of his platform because I'm, you know, if you're familiar with Dave Chappelle, that's his MO anyway. And
mhm.
he wasn't really, I mean, I didn't laugh, but I
but
don't really think that he was trying
I
to really
laughed
be
a
funny.
couple times. Yeah, no,
but
he was
that's the
trying to
thing.
teach on that joint.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it wasn't meant to be funny. It was
That's
meant
what
for
I'm,
him.
yeah.
It was really it was literally meant for him to show you like this is the bullshit that is going on. And like, yeah, there were some parts in there I laughed at just because I I hate Candace Owens.
Those are your
I
bank
hate that.
part.
Yeah.
I literally hate Candace Owens. And then
For
he, you
real,
know,
bro. Cunt.
he referred
Cunt.
back. Yes, he referred back to the great. Who gives a fuck what Ja Rule has to think at a time like this?
And
Mm.
that's my line too.
Exactly. So it's just like,
Call Ja Rule.
and it's just a testament to Dave's greatness because
Oh man.
even when he actually does like his stand-ups, it's more so of cerebral comedy because he's gonna make you
Yeah,
think,
you gotta think. Yeah.
and he has an uncanny ability to tell a joke at the very beginning of his set,
And
and
bring it all the way back.
every single thing that he talks about comes full circle at the end.
Like a preacher.
And
That's a
there's
gift.
yeah, and it's amazing that he's able to do that. And like I said, this wasn't meant to be funny. It was more
Mm.
meant to be powerful, and I think it was.
Powerful. And it was.
It was great.
It,
It was great.
so powerful, man. So powerful.
And that's
I
where
wish
you
it
got
was
to
longer.
utilize you got to utilize your platform. If you got a power and you got a voice, you can utilize it. So that's what I want to touch on. You got everybody now that was, let's say, they were previously silent or they previously said something, let's say, stupid. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees, Dabo Sweeney, you know, Jake
Mm-hmm.
Fromm, James Dolan, just
Who?
just a select, just a select few. They said something stupid, and then they come in, they backtrack, they give you the apology. What are we doing with those individuals right there? That's a first part question.
I don't accept
Not
nobody's
those
apology.
not those individuals. Yeah, basically, I'm only talking about the backtracked statements. Like, what are we doing with the apology? Go ahead, AJ.
I don't accept those retractions because it's not like we haven't like been here before. It's not like that all of this hasn't been said before. You
Mm-hmm.
literally just didn't care to listen because you were in your bubble. It didn't affect you. And once again, it takes me back to two Americas. Everyone wants to talk about, oh, we're all American people. We're all American people. Well, if something like this happened in the white community, you guys would be in outrage. You would
Outrage.
you would be up in arms. You would literally be calling for people's heads. You'd be wanting to speak to the manager. And so I'm like, no, especially Drew Brees, because like to be so out of touch, yet to be surrounded by all of those
It
black
was
people.
almost intentional.
It Yeah, and so it's just like I don't accept that. You can't, especially the way that it was done. You come out with this, like you come out, you didn't write your statement on Instagram to begin with. So why are you gonna come out with a written statement as an apology?
But he came
So,
back with a video. Came back with a video. Wanted
Yeah,
you to look in his
it's too
eyes.
late.
He
It's too
called
late.
people.
but
It's
the
too
He
late.
did a
but the
lot.
thing,
It's too late.
the key word that AJ said, statements. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Statements. When people put out statements, I just don't write a statement and just put it out there. Statement is something that I proofread. I think about it. This is what I want to say. Go back through my social media history. I ain't never apologized for nothing I said on there because everything that I said, I really meant. So you really meant it. Only reason you are saying you want to backtrack is because people that you are aligned with may have distanced themselves from you that you didn't think were going to. And you like, oh, I didn't, let me, they probably called and said, you better fix this or we're going to have to step away from you. And so I rejected deposit, like Pac said. You feel me? I don't want it, bro. Like you, Jake Fromm especially, you thought about what you wanted to say, which is why I said who when you said his name. You thought about what you wanted to say. You put out a statement, bro. Like if you want to speak on a topic, you think about it. You tell people I'm about to do it, and you press send like Herm said. So no, you thought about it as a conscious decision. So now you feel bad because you caught some heat. No, you can't take the heat. Stay out the kitchen, though. Grab your nuts. Stand behind what you say. Like it is what it is.
Because my whole thing,
I respect you more if you stand behind what you say.
How I feel about it is, I knew this half-ass apology was going to always come back.
Oh,
like, we know this.
I said it.
Yeah, we knew the routine. We seen this movie before, and then we like, oh, his teammates gonna be all right. You know what? I respect him. You know that wasn't in it. All right,
they gotta work with him, bro. I understand, but I understand their position.
I get it too, but this is my thing. How many times, let's just say back in your past, how many times you get caught cheating? Girl take you back, and she take you better not do it again. You better not do it again, right? And if she doesn't hold you accountable for your actions, what you gonna do?
Again.
You're gonna cheat again. You be like, I got away with it the first time. I got away with it first time. I can get away with it again. But if she holds you accountable, makes you, okay, you know, I ain't gonna never do this again. And she holds you to your word and make sure that you're a man of your words and holds you accountable. That thing we studied about earlier, accountability. Then the actions are gonna be with your words, and then you have no choice. So now,
at least deter you from trying to.
You feel what I'm saying? So now I just need some action.
I don't know if you remember this. Remember we was going to Henny Palooza and we was in the Uber in DC and we had that old head Uber driver and he dropped some game on us about if your woman cheat on you and you take her back. If your woman cheats on you and you take her back, you basically condoning that behavior because you didn't give any reprimand. That's not a punishment. The only way that you can really, change behavior is sometimes you have to, go the opposite. You have to show that that's not accepted here. And I think that's what happens with these apologies where they just issue a statement, oh, we accept it, we take them back. And then it's to never be heard from again. Like, we ain't heard nothing about the Josh Allen stuff that he had when he was, after he got drafted and everything like that, when they found out about him. Riley Cooper, he, got love. Mike Vick took him under his arm, even though I feel like Mike Vick kind of had to do that to try and
Mike Vick had to.
To repair his image. Yeah. But it's always just like, oh, we have a little talk. No, change your behavior. Change your behavior and then show me. Like, and that's why I feel like Drew Brees, like, I don't believe Drew Brees was truly sorry. He was truly sorry that,
you purposely said that, man. You thought about it. He was upset that his grandfathers weren't getting talked about right now.
In his
grandfathers. That's what I want to say.
I know.
Let me say something. Let me say something real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
Because I feel I really feel like that's what needs to be said sometimes. Because you know what? Like, my grandfather's fought in the war. Fuck your grandfathers. Because that's what mine did.
Black
too.
people, yeah.
Mine did too, and then we still didn't have that. So when you see this flag, you get to say one thing. When I see the flag, I get to say another thing. So if I want to say fuck this flag, fuck this country, and whatever the one, guess what? I have the inalienable rights that are given in this Constitution to say exactly that. And for all those people who want to say, oh, well, if you hate it here so much, then leave. Fuck you too, because guess what? You don't have to, because I did. Because if it was up to the people that were, my ancestors, they probably wouldn't even be over here because you brought them here. Why would they want to come in here and be in servitude, shackles, and chains? No. So You can't tell me to go not a
It's
single
over.
place. You can't tell me to go not a single place in this fucking country or on this globe. Because guess what? You don't own. You may have people who have drawn lines based on constitutions, wars, and shit like that. But you don't own not a thing. If you own land on this because you bought it from somebody else and they gave you a piece of paper, I don't care if all this shit burned down. Today, if we burn all this shit down, you're gonna have to fight for what's yours, and that's who really owns it. Whoever wins the wars writes the history. So I don't give a fuck what
That's a
Drew
fact.
Brees sees and whatever the case may be. Because if we all Americans, you gotta listen to me just as much as I gotta listen to you. So fuck your grandfathers. Because if you want to say what your grandfathers went through, you are completely disregarding what my grandfather went through because he fought in the war too. Because my grandfather.
And if you watch Five Bloods, that's the whole purpose of why Spike Lee put that out, because it's showing like, bro, those black men were sent to the front lines, bro, purposely. You see what I'm saying? So like, our forefathers were always sent to the front lines. First, they didn't even want them in the war, but then they was like, when you put them in the war, when they realized that young white boys were dying, then they put them in the war, put them on the front line, don't give them none of the stuff that they really need to survive on the front line, and that's actually how the North won the war. Blacks on the front line.
We see, but we learned. See, but we learned about that though, and
because our parents made sure, your mother made sure you knew about a Buffalo Soldier.
Come on now, come see, we see. That's crazy, yo. We knew this. That's the part. But hold on, AJ, hold on. But hold on, I know you started. I'm sorry, but this is my thing. Because basically on the panel, I think I'm sorry if I get it wrong. I think it was Morgan. I think she said, I'm exhausted. It's trying to explain to y'all what's going on. She's like, I'm tired of telling y'all what's going on.
She almost had a tear in her eye.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm tired of telling y'all. I'm tired of being y'all teachers for this instance. I'm tired of telling y'all. If y'all don't know, you don't want to know. So cool.
Yeah.
Let's say somebody took your approach, AJ. What if somebody told Drew Brees, hey, I don't give a fuck about your grandfather, bro. Like, it's other, you know what I'm saying? It's other people.
Yeah,
and he was like,
that's a fact.
And it finally hit him. And let's say it finally hit him. And he like, you know what? Fucked up. Then what? Because you was one of the ones that told me that we you was one of the ones that told me that we needed other people as voices. We need the other people as voices. So now that it finally, sometimes you take your ass to get knocked out to realize I don't need to be doing this no more. But so what if he got knocked out and he like, you know what? Hey, I'm on board now. I misspoke. I was wilding. I was ignorant. I was dumb. Now it's a sincere apology. Now what?
But see, that's the thing. In my eyes, I don't think he got his ass knocked out because it was just, we talked and stuff like that. No, I feel like for you to really have that understanding, I feel like there has to be some sort of, true like flip of the switch, not just, oh, let me go ahead and issue these apologies.
Why wasn't it a flip of the switch? This was the first time anybody said anything negative about Drew Brees.
Well, let me just say one first. I think that was a great narrative flip. I like that you posed 100%. That question here. Me personally, I still don't give it. I still don't care. I still don't care. It still doesn't matter to me because I still feel like that was intentional. And if it was a wake up call, good. I hope it was, and I hope going forward you can show me. I hope 10 years from now I can look back and say,
that's where I was about to go.
Drew Brees proved me wrong, But right now I'm done. And AJ told me to stop doing this because y'all know I'm a benefit of the doubt giver. I'm done giving benefits of the doubt.
Exactly, and that's where I was going. And that's where I was going to go. Like, you know what? It could have been a flip of the switch moment for you, but I'm not gonna believe you just off of you issuing 2 apologies.
Yeah,
I'm gonna believe you when you actually put some action behind the shit that you were saying.
So you ain't gonna believe me?
Because you can apologize all you want, but until you actually show me that, hey, you know what I was doing was fucked up. What like my thinking about it was completely one-sided. I was literally thinking it from just my side of America, not your side of America, not understanding that there's 2 sides of America, not understanding that this is wrong, not understanding that this flag that you see don't mean the things that it means to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to help. I'm going to start speaking out more. Like I'm going to what if Now, if that was a flip of the switch, what if Drew Brees kind of started taking on like the Colin Kaepernick role, and he in every press conference he starts speaking about it, in every press conference he starts saying it. What if he shows up and to actually say, hey, Black Lives Matter, or whatever the case may be. What if he actually starts calling out politicians? What if he actually starts doing that? What if he actually starts putting money up and not just a one-time thing, but actually puts money up and helps fund things and actually talks to his teammates? Because that's another thing. Like I said before, you can't tell me you got all of these Black people in your locker room and you still come up with like, I'm not going to disrespect the flag. You can't tell me that you have been in the locker room with all these people for all these years. 4 years. 4 years of people have been trying to make this about.
He kneeled before.
Bro, I'm sorry.
But Jerry Jones did too.
It's more than 4 years, bro.
But we knew why he kneeled.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like, you trying to just do
Drew Brees was alive during Rodney King, right?
Yeah,
he was alive during.
I was.
So I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear no 4 years. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, he been knowing this is going on. Black people that he personally knew growing up in high school, he knew injustices happen to those people. People that he personally knew. Everybody knows somebody. Black person that injustice happened to, so I'm pretty sure he knows somebody.
It didn't readily affect him. That's my whole thing. But now you start to see.
I got that.
Okay, go ahead.
I got no. I'm with you. You know why he should have known better? Because the faces that he was seeing when he was out there helping Katrina, he was one of the ones
supposed to be on this.
You was out there on the front line. You should have seen who was out there the most, who suffered the most, and that's basically right there was systematic racism right there, or you're seeing it firsthand, and you was out there in the front line. So don't act like you was naive to what's going on in our community. Like, come on now. So that and you know what? And that's what hurt us the most. That's what hurt us the most because we thought we had an ally with Drew Brees.
Yes, we did, bro.
And
for him to come out and say some dumb shit like that, and that's why he got it like the way he got it. So I'm not gonna stop AJ from feeling the way he's feeling. I just asked him a question. That's all it is.
And I think it was a great question. That, bro, these questions have to be asked. This is the dialogue that needs to be had.
Oh, I just want to let it be known who team I was on.
And that's why. This always takes me back to why I told y'all I don't give those cookout invites. Just because Drew Brees give those passionate pregame speeches and all of that, I don't give a good goddamn. You can't come over here. Like, go on over there with your people, because I know when actually it come down to it, I know where you stand. You never had to tell me, just because you cool, just because you can give a good pregame speech and you can rile up some Black people. No. Because I feel like until you actually show me that you with us, you can't come over here with us.
Man, we naturally kind-hearted people, man.
And that's why I don't like those apologies.
I don't either. But you militant. You've always had that mind frame. But it's like Black people as a culture, we are forgiving people, bro. So it's like I'm not for the apologies either or accepting them right now because I'm for the movement. But it's like I do understand Black people who are that way. You feel me?
It's
funny, bro.
It's funny. It's still funny coming from AJ, because if you personally know AJ, he'd rather go to a white bar than a predominantly Black bar. Like,
oh no. Let's not go there. Because I'd rather just go to a bar. I'd rather not go to a club because I don't like paying $20 for a drink in the club.
And I'm with you.
Most of your bars be white, bro. Like,
okay, let's talk about when we was in Richmond. How many was it like Black bars, or was it just like clubs?
Club.
We had a couple bars, bro. We had a couple bars.
And I went to I went to the ones in Petersburg. What was it, Neptunes?
He went to the hookah, tobacco.
I went to all of those. But
what I'm saying, you don't have an issue with drinking with white people, chilling with white people, being around 100%. White people. I'm just saying your narrative can be switched to how you talk. Be like, oh, he don't give a damn about white people at all. And I'm just defending your character. That's what
but guess what? I tell this.
I know you don't give a damn.
I will tell this to them. If anyone knows,
because you can articulate it.
Anything that I say to you, anything that I can say behind someone's back, I never feel guilty about, because if I was ever approached them, I'm gonna say it to your face. I've said this to.
Which is why I've talked to white people. Backtracking those statements.
Yeah.
You won't catch me doing that, Drew. I'm not backing whatever I say. I'm riding with it, bro.
Because I mean what I say. When I say stuff, I mean what I say. Like
I
people,
mean it, bro.
like people know when I'm joking, but they also know when I'm serious. And so, like, if
That's
I'm
a fact.
like, I'm not about to say something directly to somebody, and it's gonna be misinterpreted. No, you're gonna know what I mean.
We had I don't want to think it. I don't want to make that seem like it was a Drew Brees bashing situation. Because the same thing that we just said about Drew Brees, you can insert Dabo Sweeney. You can insert name here. You
Oh,
know what I'm saying?
anybody who
And
know me know how I feel about Dabo Sweeney. So
so we can go ahead and get it. Like I said, I know it felt like we were just focusing on Drew Brees, but it was others that said. Prime example, that Football Matters T-shirt. Your intentions might have been good, but Cannon done giving you the benefit of the doubt. That tone deaf shit is done over here, bro. We're not doing that no
I
more.
told,
We can't. That's a
Football,
like.
but football don't even matter though.
But the thing
but
about,
like,
you know what,
But the
the plea I can give him,
audacity,
I can give him a plea. I can give him a plea, but I'm not like the benefit of the doubt is done. We're not doing that shit no more. Like say, I was on. Me and Cannon was on that page. Like you know what?
yeah, we
That's a
was.
because
Yep,
that's a narrative. That's a narrative shifting thing. To be quite
yep,
honest, you know, like
we was.
maybe you wasn't intentionally feeling like that. Maybe you wasn't. That's a narrative. That's a narrative intentional thing right there. We're not gonna fight.
Mhm.
But hey, listen, come on now. But tone deaf, we done. We done with
okay,
that
Yep.
tone deaf shit.
let
We
me
not.
ask you, and the reason why I have no sympathy, and I was hoping that he would get more backlash because if Dabo has a player and Dabo's in a car with someone who has weed and they get arrested, and that person he's just accomplished and he gets arrested, is Dabo going to give him? And he's not a star. This player's not a star. He's just a regular player on his team, maybe a second, third string linebacker or something like that. And that player gets arrested. You think Dabo gonna just give him the benefit of the doubt, or is he gonna try and make a statement and say, "Hey, we don't condone that here"?
We don't condone that here. Run a clean program.
And that's my whole
Football
thing.
matters.
And exactly. And that's always been my issue with a lot of these head coaches. They can come into these houses of all these, black kids, and they can talk to their parents and say, we're a family. We love our players like they're our own. If he comes here, I'm going to treat him like my son, and I treat all of my players like they're an extension of me. If you get in trouble, Cannon, your mom just gonna kick you to the curb, or she's gonna try and
She
correct
got
you,
my mom riding to the end.
tell you where you went wrong, and say, look, let's not make this mistake
Linda
again.
riding, bro.
So you can't
I'm
tell
gonna be
me
in
that
trouble. I'm gonna be in trouble.
100%.
But to the public, she gonna ride. She gonna be a 100% rider.
So you can't, like, I don't like that these coaches get away with that. And guess what? When these coaches get in trouble, guess what they do? They gonna issue an apology and they gonna get a job somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
How many jobs Bobby Petrino done got?
So how come
Sarkeesian, like.
how come
Like,
my apology don't mean nothing in this world though? Like you, black man, you go out here and make a mistake. That's the end of it. That's the end of it for you. You see what I'm saying? So it's like
No,
you do
Kevin
no.
Hart
That's a
still
media. That's no.
Kevin Hart
That's
still
a media thing.
apologizing.
That's a media
you
thing, bro. That's a media
you
thing.
but no, hold on, let me finish. You
Go
sell a
ahead.
loose cigarette. You sell a loose cigarette, bro. That's the end of it for you. That was a mistake. You know what I'm saying? You can't, like, I don't even get this. So it's like we letting these people make egregious mistakes and just get to say, I'm sorry. That's what I do with elementary kids, bro. I let elementary kids spill out of my desk and stuff like that. And because I gotta teach them a lesson, I gotta let them say I'm sorry. And I gotta truly forgive them because I'm trying to teach them compassion. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And respect for someone else's thing. But but it's like, I'm doing that for a child, right? As a child, I'm allowing
Mm-hmm.
them to make mistakes, an 8-year-old. As an adult, you know what's right from wrong because you done went through the system with teachers like me doing that for you. So if you are at a certain point and you're still apologizing for your actions, you're what my stepfather used to say, God rest his soul, you're sorry. And don't nobody like a sorry person, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you know better, do better. And like you said, the tone deaf stuff, like you can't even say you don't know anymore. Like It's Google. Google runs the world.
I've
Like,
always
you
told you,
can learn about
ignorance
anything.
is not an excuse for me no more. I'm not about to just let people come out here and say, "Oh, I didn't know any better." I'm not going to let people come out here and say, "Well, I was young, I was a teenager." Because guess what? I've seen Tamir Rice play with a gun in the street and get killed within 4 seconds of police officers arriving. We have to mature much sooner. So I'm not about to just let you get
Yeah,
off because
black
I
teenagers
can.
have to be adults.
So
early on.
I'm not about to just let you come out here and play ignorant and say, guess what? Oh, I didn't know. I just made a mistake. I was just a young kid trying to have fun. Because guess what? I've been a young kid trying to have fun, but my mistakes could have real life implications. Like I've seen teenagers get charged as adults and go to
And
jail
then adults.
for big
Talk
time.
about it.
Like, and that's why. And
Talk about it.
one of the things like takes me back to the criminal justice system. One of the things that burns me up is when I see teenagers get, the book thrown at them. I'm like, it's been teenagers. Who was it? I can't remember his name. It just came out. He was a teenager, and the
I was
police,
just talking about this.
the police shot his friend because they were in a robbery. The police shot his friend, and he
And
got
they
charged.
charged.
He got
Yeah,
charged with murder of his friend because he was
because
an
in that
accomplice.
state,
Right.
yeah,
He was an
in that state,
accomplice
if you
to a crime.
in a felony, in the commission of a felony, so that is the reason that his friend got killed, and they charged him with this. And the cop pulled the
system, man.
And to think about that, and to think about Brock Turner raping a girl and only getting 90 days in jail because he's a good kid and it would be detrimental to his future.
And that's the point.
I don't give nobody no break on ignorance because you got so many breaks in life because you get to play ignorant. Why am I about to give you a break? You don't get that.
You could, because you didn't want to.
I don't get any breaks.
It's a want to. And I remember, like I said, AJ been telling us for a while. He like, hey, nah, we're not letting that fly. We're not letting that fly. And he know. He didn't talk to me personally. He like, bro, stop arguing with the Facebook group. Let's just say, he like, stop.
I even told you that.
Arguing with the people and explain to them, bro. They know better. And Cannon be like, bro, my mental health, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I'm over there on the front line. Nah. We do. And AJ keeps sitting back. He like, bro, stop doing it. Stop doing it. They're purposely ignorant. He like, they're purposely being ignorant. And when you have somebody purposely being ignorant and getting away with it, that's a privilege right then and there. That's a privilege right then and there. And on top of that, like you said, he like, bro, like they don't want to. They don't want to. But now the situation that we're in now, let's backtrack. They don't have a choice now.
Yeah. And
you don't have a choice. You can't run from this. So now anybody ignorant now, we're not gonna have y'all hear the conversation that I'm having. If we having a conversation face to face and you ignorant now, the hands is coming. I'm not one of these peaceful people. I may talk to you online. We can talk. We can figure it out. If we having a conversation, ignorant happening in my face, hands is coming.
And that's why with all of these companies, that's why all of these companies making statements, all of these sports teams making statements, especially these NFL teams. Once again, you got to show me. You got to show it to me.
Accountability.
Especially these NFL teams, you had the opportunity to be on the forefront. You had the opportunity to be on the right side of history. You had one of your own who played the glamour position, the one position in the NFL that you always try to prop up. You had someone trying to put you on the right side of history. You fucked it up. So guess what? You're gonna have to eat this. You're gonna have to live with this egg on your face because y'all fumbled it. And even the fact that Roger Goodell made that statement, he couldn't even fix his mouth to say Colin Kaepernick.
But it's like, bro, but I didn't even listen to it. Like, that's the thing.
No,
I got something.
That's another reason why I want to group these because, bro, Drew, like, as soon as I seen the apology, like, bro, I'm beyond caring. So I don't even want to hear it, Goodell. I don't want to hear what you're doing. Just for me, just put the money there. Put the money in the right hands and let it go where it needs to go. I don't care what you got to say, Goodell. I don't.
Okay, Dominique Foxworth, one of our guys that we respect, he had a narrative thinking, switching thing. He said Roger Goodell made his money from these owners. Like, he made a lot of money.
Him and Bomani made this point.
And he'd be like, they made a lot of money with these on it. He could be like, it might have hit him. Like you said, it might have hit him. He like, he may be an advocate for change now. And he like, you know what? It may be against the owners because I used to work for the owner. He may feel this way. But a blanket ass statement is not gonna cut it, like AJ said.
That's my thing. And so my whole thing is, I actually felt that Roger Goodell wanted to get Cap back in the league, with these workouts he was having. I felt like Roger Goodell wanted that. But I do also appreciate what Cap did and standing firm in his. I know you and I had some disagreements on that and trying to and him trying to get it his way, because he didn't want it just to seem like, oh, y'all about to just get me in here to appease y'all and shut me up. Because no, at the end of the day, these people, like the issue that I was fighting for, I'm still fighting for. My people are still fighting for it. And guess what? It's been proven today. And so that's why even Roger Goodell's statement, even if you wanted to help, even if you wanted to get Kevin back in, even if you are an advocate for change, that bullshit ass statement don't do nothing for me. Because guess what? The only way we're gonna get change is you actually making a real stand, making people uncomfortable. And we ain't gonna get no change by trying to keep white people comfortable with the words that we say. The only way that's really gonna be changed is we gotta have some hard conversations. We about to really call out some of the bullshit that y'all be doing, and then you gotta sit there and eat it, and you gotta listen to me, because you starting to realize, yeah, it's a problem, and you got to actually hear me. And so just by saying, the injustices, no, the murders, that's what it was. It's a murder. You're witnessing people being murdered
and getting off for it.
But it's like, okay, now they donate money. Everybody's donating money. Shannon Sharp said, another guy we respect. He said another thing. We don't really need your money. We need your voices. Y'all got power. Y'all have friendships and alliances with some of these powerful people. You know what I'm saying? We can use your voices as your voices can be your currency.
They can be.
Policy change. We can get some policy change, some reforms. We can get a lot of things in motion if we can just. But
we need that funding too, Shay. Don't.
So
I get it. But what is the money? What is the money doing? What is the money doing?
So let me say this.
That's the question.
So let me say like this, and I'm kind of a proponent of your voice might be a little bit more powerful than your money, but open your wallet too. Because
that's where I'm at with it.
We
need your voice.
Look, $90 billion has been donated to cancer research. I mean, people still dying of cancer every day.
That's what I was asking about the money.
Right. And so how much money has been donated to Black Lives Matters, criminal justice reform, whatever the case may be?
Probably
what? And then I can't remember who it was, but I think Shannon Sharp might have said this. What if you donate your money and then, hey, Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, y'all go speak on Capitol Hill. Y'all got the power to do it.
Yeah.
Why don't y'all go do that?
Yeah.
Roger Goodell, why don't you go do that? You make $40 million a year. You got the power to do that too. Yeah. I guarantee you, it coming from y'all would be a lot more impactful than it coming from Malcolm Jenkins, Colin Kaepernick, stuff like that. Because y'all are part of that league. Y'all are part of that financial league. Y'all are part of that good old boys club. So if y'all gonna say something like, look, hey, I think that, there's a point. Y'all go get educated on them, like take them with you, but it coming from y'all, it makes more of a point, because we've been saying it. We've been crying for help.
Yeah. You know what's crazy, and this may be ignorant. I'm sorry, but you go ahead press my conference. This may be ignorant. You know how much benefit you can get from a happy Black community?
And that's
like think about when you're in a relationship. When your girl is happy, doesn't everything fall in place? So if you get Black people happy, you help them out. You help them out. You think that we're not gonna spend our money with you? We're not gonna invite you to the cookout? We're not gonna do
because if Black people. But look, here's the thing: if Black people get happy, if Black people start not being socially stressed, start becoming educated, start becoming business savvy, start even in the playing field, that's their biggest fear. These same people that we're talking about, that's their biggest nightmare, Hill.
Why is that not beneficial? That's the question, bro.
It's beneficial to me and you, but not to them because
why is that? Why is not?
Because guess what? They become financially savvy,
obsolete.
Guess what? We still got to pay our taxes. Our money's still going places. People still gonna spend money. It's still gonna be taxed. They're still gonna be getting income from.
But they feel like whenever the playing field is level, who normally rises to the top?
We do.
And that's what they're afraid of. That's their biggest in everything. I'm talking about in all endeavors, every field of human endeavor. You feel me? If the playing field is level, if it's real estate, if black people got the same loans as white people, you don't think we will own a lot of property in this world? You see what I'm saying? If you see what I'm saying, they did a report, bro, from 2012 all the way back to 2005. They were giving black people with good credit higher interest rates than white people with bad credit. You see what I'm saying? So that's the type of, so if you level the playing field, let's just say you look at real estate and mortgage loans and you just level the playing field right there, you instantly have hundreds of or thousands of black families that will be able to now become homeowners quickly, just by making that illegal. just by making that illegal. So it's like they are so afraid of leveling the playing field because they feel like if the level field is if the playing field is level, their children and their future generations won't stand a chance.
Okay, AJ. I mean,
they had a 400-year head start, and look where we at.
Yeah. I'm 100 with you.
Now listen. Now, what if we go to opposite side? Now, what if we actually unify in solidarity, like we asked? What if we actually create our black? What if we actually support black-owned businesses, like we support, like everybody wants to? What if we actually make Black Wall Street again? What if we actually go to black grocery stores and start planting and become vegans and do? What if we separate ourselves?
We're gonna have to fight a civil war.
But listen, what if we separate ourselves? How do they benefit then? But how do they benefit? They don't. They lose.
They lose, and that's what they don't want.
But no. That they don't believe that we're gonna be in solidarity. That's the thing about that. They don't believe
that.
They're
banking on that.
But what I'm saying, if they open arms and they just make it equal, we still listen.
That make too much sense.
Listen. White privilege is never going to stop. We're never going to get rid of it. We're never going to get rid of prejudice. We're never going to get rid of double standards. We're never going to get rid of none of these issues. I don't give a damn what systematic thing we come in. These are shit that's instilled upon us. I'm just saying that's not going to change, and we understand that. That's the thing about we understand them as now. How do they not benefit?
Be right back. Y'all go ahead.
Keep it going. I'm just saying, how do they not? We're still the minority. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I was gonna say it's something that you tell me all the time, bro. That make too much sense, bro.
It does.
Like, so it's like it's once again for the second time in this episode we have solved one of the societal ills, right? We solved it. It just makes too much sense. Like the people in charge and the powers that be, you just can't think logically. You got to think in a roundabout situation of how you can exploit everything at every time. And that's what it really boils down to, bro. Is we have too many people in high positions that wanna that don't care about equality, number one.
Because like you said, it makes it too much money. Like you just said. It's like you cannot see the benefit of something different other than what's been working. Like you said, what's Gruden play? Spider 2 Wide Banana?
Yeah.
He's still been running that play because what?
It worked.
it worked. So he don't understand. Even if the NFL has evolved, he don't understand the difference of changing.
Yeah.
Because why? Because it worked.
But he could he could apply that same concept to the new NFL and really kill it though.
That's what I'm saying about America. Like, listen,
we've
already like Cannon, you said a couple weeks back, an episode, we got to get overqualified. We've already accepted that we got to be two to three times better than y'all. You feel what I'm saying? And y'all still don't want to level the playing field. And we already, you feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? AJ, you just came in. You feel what I'm saying? Bro, we've already accepted the fact that we are already behind. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Like, I'm not like, come on now.
We've accepted the fact that we've been behind, but they can't accept the fact that they have a head start, because then it's going to make them look like less than. Because if they accept the fact that they have had a head start and we're still in the positions that we're in,
what does that say about?
That's some scary. That's scary. That's scary.
Man.
What I'm saying, you can make it a better place, bro. Like, we don't like you say, we don't. We shouldn't be dealing with the same shit we dealing with
not, bro.
in
2020. I seen one post, man. An older person, I don't know what color they were, but they were a protester, and they said, "I can't believe I'm 60 and I'm still marching for this bullshit."
You feel what I'm saying? You feel
that
what I'm saying?
person? You got to think they probably started at 18 or something protesting. That's when you probably become aware things was probably messed up. That person probably been screaming this for 40 years, and it's the same, bro.
And you're seeing some progress. You're seeing some progress, but like you say, you take one step. What is it? One step forward, take two steps back.
2 steps back.
Like, come on now. We can wrap it up. We getting the NBA back. We getting the NBA back, and now we getting some players saying that they don't want to play because they don't want to become. They don't want to be a distraction to.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me. All right, so we got a half of players. Let's say a half. They're saying that they don't want to play now because they don't want to become a distraction of the momentum that we have for change.
I feel them.
We also have some players I just want to ball, and I'm still with the movement. I'm with the movement, but I just want to ball. Steven Jackson has been one of the most vocal people now because he's been directly affected to George Floyd. He actually knew this man, and he actually played in the NBA. So he said, so that's who I'm going to lean on to somebody to say something. He'd be like, "This is not the time to be playing basketball." And the funny thing about it, we've been begging for sports to come back.
Yeah.
But now
we got too much momentum.
Now the fact that we got it back is like, do we just give it up? So what's your thoughts? Let's go.
So I'm gonna say this because this is another reason why I don't be in those Facebook groups like you. Because so many times they want to say, "Oh, I come for sports to get away from real life. I come to sports so I don't have to think about that." Well, guess what? Half the players that you watch in sports, they can't get away from this either because guess what? They still black regardless. And so this is your getaway. This is my life. At the end of the day, I could put on whatever uniform may be. I put on. I may be a Laker, I may be a Buck, I may be a Sun, I may be a Knick, but I'm black at the end of the day. So after this game, I'm still black. So your sports is still my life. That Minnesota Timberwolves player, remember he got tased? Remember that? Guess what? That's because he was still black. He was an NBA player. He had all the finances. They always want to talk about, "Oh, but you're rich. How you don't go through anything?" Nah, still nigga. So you still go through this. You still black at the end of the day, bro. So all the whole, people that say shut up and dribble. I don't want to mix my politics with sports. Nah, guess what? It's always been mixed for us because at the end of the day, politics and Miss Black skin, it's always been clashing. So I don't care what nobody got to say. I don't want none of this sports to come back because it's going to give white people the chance. And I got to call out white people because this is who we're going against and who they want to say, I don't want my politics and my sports to mix. No one had an issue when Tom Brady had his Make America Great Again hat in. That's politics. No one has a problem when Drew Brees says, "Oh, I'm not going to disrespect the flag." That's politics. So why, when we want to bring politics into our sports, it's a problem. Nah, don't bring none of the sports back to allow anybody get their mind off of what's going on, because I don't want no other topic to be on First Take, Undisputed, First Things First, none of that. But what's going on right now in the world? So no, don't bring none of this shit back.
That was fire, bro.
What we pretty much been talking about most of this whole episode, what Black people need to do. The one thing that we've been missing for 400 years is solidarity. So, right, I love basketball. I mean, three-man weave is a basketball phrase. It's a basketball
It's the drill.
drill. I couldn't the word drill was escaping me or something, but either way, I love basketball, and as much as I would love to see, the Lake Show get back out there and run, uh, it's about solidarity. So even if I was a player, an NBA player, and I wanted to get back to balling, but if my black brothers are telling me no, this ain't the time, I think this is the time that we need to come together and say, yo, if my brother is hurting and he say this ain't the time, then this ain't the time. You see what I'm saying? So as much as I love basketball, and as much as I've been bored and I'm tired of watching what the BS that's on TV, bro. If the revolution is being televised, I don't want to see no commercials.
Now, y'all stole me. Y'all stole me because I was gonna ask y'all. They can't do both. They can't come up with a plan. They can't come up with a plan.
Their brothers are screaming, no. You see what I'm saying? Because they can't breathe here. So if your brother is telling you you can't breathe, you want to halfway let him up, or you want to get him an oxygen tube.
And this is,
that's why I asked you.
I get why you're saying
that shit was fire.
I get why you're saying they can't do both hills. But if what you're saying, we've always said black people in this microwave society is always on to the next thing. We get distracted easy. So guess what? Let's not give no distractions. People been in the streets faithfully. It ain't getting shown on TV as much as it once was, but everybody's still out there. So let's keep it up. Don't give nobody no distractions. Let's let our big names have this time to get out there and fight with us too, so they can be visible. So guess what? On First Take, Undisputed, First Things First, Sports Center, whatever the case may be, they're going to show Steven Jackson out there at a protest. They're going to show LeBron out there at a protest, whatever the case may be. They're going to show all these people out there doing it. Like I said, I want it to be the first topic every single time, because this ain't your escape. This ain't time for people to be escaping. And I know people talk about, but we got families to feed, and guess what? Plenty people who was living to check before is out of work now. So guess what?
Yeah.
Welcome to the other side. Welcome to the other side.
Welcome.
So we've been making shit shake. You got to make shit shake too. I don't know what you got to do. Use your name, image, and likeness if you got to. But guess what? We need these airwaves free. We need this work to continue going on.
Another reason why I feel like we can't do both is because if we do both here, that's a symbol that's symbolizing that there's a rift and we're not together again. You see what I'm saying? And that's how we've been losing, is by we've been divided and conquered. That's been the plan since Africa: divide and conquer, and then go in there and pillage for their natural resources, divide and conquer. So it's like, if we can't agree on just that we don't have equal rights in America, and we can't agree to, let's just make a stand right now, and basketball ain't that important. As much as y'all know that I'm a basketball fan, I feel like if my black people, if that's what they want, I support that. Fuck it, I don't need to see no basketball.
If I'm only worth something to you because I provide you entertainment, you can kiss my ass. I ain't gonna provide you this entertainment until I'm actually worth something to you as a person. Then maybe I get back to doing what I do and entertaining you. But I'm not here just for your entertainment.
Your escape.
I mean, that right there, that was powerful. That sold me. Like, y'all sold me.
And I want basketball back, but
you know we want it. You like, come on now. Like you said, we know we want it, but like you said,
this is the most progress I've seen in my lifetime.
And like I've been promoting or been saying, if this is the momentum that we're gonna have, then we need to ride it. So
bingo.
I can't be a hypocrite. So I'm with it. Hey, it's over. It's over. Hey, this is episode 73. You catch us on all major podcast platforms, 3Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. AJ, Cannon, I'm Hill. I'm sorry, y'all, that we went a little bit longer than we usually go. We had to get this off, man. It's therapeutic.
Heavy. Yeah.
So, bear with us or be with us. That's it.
Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-man weave. We come at you with topics. No, you cannot stop it.